But there is one thing that does really bother the hell out of me. Welcome to Shenzhen, China. In this video I'm going to be talking about my first impressions in China. Now everyone's opinion is going to be different, whether you're a local, a tourist, and even what ethnicity you are. That's just the facts of life. So with all that said and done, let's talk about the cultural differences and first impressions I've made while visiting China. Let's go. So something I noticed the other day was an old man crashed his motorcycle. The motorcycle was on top of him and the engine was still running. And nobody stopped to help him. No one stopped if he was okay. I was the first one running over there. I was there 20 minutes. I called the ambulance. No one stopped. Everyone was staring, but they were just going on about their lives. And I'm sort of slowly noticing something to do with that, especially when walking down the street. Because some of the motorcycles will share the footpaths with the people. They'll hit my elbow or my arm with the mirrors on their motorcycle. No one will stop to see if you're okay, nothing. You know, it's just quiet, carry on. It's almost like it's less efficient to apologize or talk or something like that. So that's a very big negative and a very big cultural difference. I'm not used to that at all. That's absolutely crazy. If someone's hurt, they're potentially hurt. Always stop to make sure they're okay. But that's the way I was raised, and all cultures are different. And that's the importance of traveling. You will learn that the more you travel. Crazy. Okay, next one, a good one incoming, hospitality. Hospitality is number one. We went out to dinner twice in the 3 days we've been here so far, and the people we were with, we did drinks, like little shots of beer they tend to do, and you have the beer in the shot, not really liquor but beer, and you say gambe, then you drink it, it's like a toast. But that happens a lot. I think we maybe had 10 or 12, but we had a meal, like a hot pot. It was in the middle of the table, like a circular table, and the culture is you buy lots of food, kind of more than you can possibly eat, and you leave absolutely stuffed. But the thing is, they will not let you pay for your meal. That is almost the number one rule. We tried to pay so many times, we almost got in a fist fight over who's going to pay. But we left it with the notion, when you come to Europe, I'm going to pay for the next meal. And that's the only way we could get out of the place. But hospitality, number one in China. I've never been to a country so much more hospitable than everyone I've met so far in only 3 days being in China. I can't imagine how it's going to be after 40 days. Wow. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is surveillance. CCTV cameras. They are everywhere. I thought London had a lot of cameras, but that is nothing on some cities in China, like Shenzhen. So right now I'm just walking on a trail. You see a camera there. You see a camera here. In fact, two cameras. And cameras all the way down. Just for one trail. Then magnify that on every single road, every single building, every single intersection. You are being watched all the time. Everyone knows what your face looks like, and what they're going to roll out soon is a facial scan, and that will automatically deduct money from your Alipay account or whatever other bank account, so you can take public transport or anything like that. So the biometric features are pretty scary, but then again, it's nothing different from what a Las Vegas casino offers. I have a friend who is banned from all of Caesar's properties. As soon as they enter any Caesar's property in the whole country, the security come within 20 seconds. And I've seen it firsthand, so it's pretty interesting. The next thing I want to talk about is a lot of the plant life. They really integrate plants and flowers and trees into city life. Each day someone will come. In fact, there's someone right there. He's going to water all of these plants. And this exponentially grows all throughout the city. So you can see here we have some sort of species of palm tree here, but you can see it's not like just a pure concrete jungle, if that makes sense. And every city is going to be different. You know, you can't say that Shenzhen is this, Beijing is that. It does depend where you are, of course, but it is something I've noticed while spending my time in Shenzhen. You can see a lot of trees all integrated with the big concrete structures that we're all sort of familiar with. But it's quite nice that that exists, and it makes you feel like you're trapped a lot less in, you know, walls and walls surrounded by concrete basically. So it is quite nice to walk around the city and enjoy some nature without necessarily leaving the city. So it's a bit of a contrast from, say, Hong Kong, for example, where there is a lot of concrete but very little greenery in the whole city. And if we look over here, you can see that sort of extends throughout here as well. So it's actually quite nice to walk around. You don't necessarily need to find a hiking trail just to see some trees and some nature and things like that. Here's some more examples when waiting to cross the street at a busy intersection. Check it out. Okay, here's another big one. When growing up, I was always told, China's bad, China's evil, no one recycles, they eat dogs and cats, and it's a very crappy country. Well, that's Western news for you. I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it is pretty wrong. But I just don't like the control, I'd like to hear both sides of any story, and that is the importance of traveling. But one thing I noticed when traveling in China is the infrastructure. They can throw up a whole neighborhood in like a month. Granted, maybe it's not safe. I see a lot of cracks and a lot of shoddy craftsmanship that might make a plumber, electrician or a construction worker cry in their sleep. But needless to say, it does look remarkable. There's sky bridges, sky trains, it's easy to move around. And the technology is absolutely crazy. Everything is digital, or at least a lot of things are digital. And it just seems that from a technological point of view, because Shenzhen is a technological city, that everything is very futuristic. Leaving the West is pretty much caveman. There's some surprising things I have seen, putting safety out of the equation completely, which is like automated kiosks in train stations. If you get a ticket not far enough for your journey, then you can pay a virtual assistant to extend your journey to the correct station. Just little things like that. When you go through the underground, there's like a biometric scanner as well, security checkpoints. But again, removing the safety, focusing on the electronical, technological aspects of that, you do get some crazy sights. So this is just one random shopping mall, for instance. And to contrast, I grew up in the UK, London. The streets are dirty, there's chewing gum. Same in New York as well, I've been to New York. It just seems cleaner, nicer, nice to look at. It makes you want to go out in your local city and walk around and just look at things, Focus on attention to detail. There's two weird mirrored polar bears here. I don't know what they are, but it's just interesting to look at. It's something a bit different. So it's just little things like that, but especially the technology in this specific city alone is next level. It truly leaves the UK and the US left like cavemen. Talking about efficiency and attention to detail, there's people repairing and fixing things all the time. We have potholes in the UK that are left there for months and months and months, and they never get repaired. I just like the efficiency. It's quite nice. It's different, right? Alright, Starbucks. Well, a lot of American food here, by the way. Okay, my next thing is the amount of people, and I'm not talking about the amount of people in general, but where the people are. So you'll notice it's very empty. And I even made a video on the subway in Shenzhen where you saw absolutely nobody on the subway, getting on, getting off, on the train. Absolutely empty. But you get to the middle of the city and everyone is there. It's like they all come in clusters. I actually think it's, a pretty good thing, because I don't really care too much about city centres and shopping and stuff like that. So when you escape the city, then, wow, you have the whole place to yourself. It's not bad, is it? See, there's an example, a 4-lane road. Nobody on there. I'm talking about lack of people. Sometimes I see businesses with no customers. I never see anyone walking in there, but the business continues to run. Now, as a consumer, this is amazing. Your favorite business, maybe you're the only person that likes it. It remains open, you can use it. What I noticed in my country, in Europe, for example, if the business doesn't have as many customers, then they're either going to change their strategy and maybe do something, quite drastic that you might not like, or just close the business completely. So I'm not sure if it's like a taxes thing, why these businesses can stay open. It just doesn't look like they have enough customers to sustain the bills and everything. I have no idea, but as a consumer, I'm not really complaining, Okay, positive time. A big positive time is so many people are willing to talk, help. If you ever need anything, directions, recommendations, what to eat, everyone is so friendly when you are in need of help. So anytime you're lost, just ask somebody. Usually you'll whip out the translator app and go to work with it. But in our experience, everyone's been very helpful. And a very big difference with that is if you meet a security guard in a train station, they will come all the way over to the map with you, help you buy your tickets, even though their job is being a security guard, not a tour guide. They're willing to break out of their role and do multiple different things. I don't really see that much in my country. For example, if you have a problem with your plumbing and you ask them about anything else, they're going to say it's not my job. Very common. But what I have noticed is many different people doing many different tasks. Security in public parks, also litter picking. It's very interesting culture, but I do very much like that a lot. It's a very big positive. Okay, and here's maybe a unique one or something. So when I'm walking in the city, in a suburb, a rural area, people will stare all the time, but it's not like a subtle stare, it's literally, and it gets it's pretty funny at first, but then it starts to grind a little bit. Here's an example. So I received some very bad news when I was visiting a tourist destination, and I was trying to use my phone. The signal wasn't good. We got the big Chinese firewall. I couldn't access my email and all stuff like this. I was really frustrated. I got some bad news, and people were just like, photo, because they just want a photo with me because I was white with blue eyes. And I just need a minute. But it does happen a lot, and like I said at the start of this video, it does depend what you look like as well. So I'm not sure what the requirement is for a selfie here, but certainly it can come at the wrong time, and it can influence your day if you're having a bad day, for example. Normally it's okay, but it's not very discreet. In the UK we're quite discreet as a society. I do think that's changing quite a lot now, but certainly we have a lot of mannerisms where we sort of keep it a bit quiet if you're talking about someone else. But here it's very blunt, it's very open. I've noticed that a lot in 3 days. I can't imagine how it's going to be after 40 days. Okay, so after everything so far, it's just observations, little things. Nothing really bad, this country so far as a tourist, in my opinion, in just 3 days so far, very good, clean. I felt very safe, extremely safe. I've seen nothing bad. I can walk around at night time. But there is one thing that does really bother the hell out of me, and that is the smoking and the spitting. For example, another camera. An example would be you get a non-smoking hotel room, you go in there, it smells of smoke. If you're a non-smoker, you can smell that from a mile away. The bed sheets, the curtains, the carpet, it's very hard to get rid of a smoking smell. But not only that, in the foyer, the reception of the hotel, people are smoking while working on their laptop. So I couldn't really hang out in those environments, especially because my partner has a lung condition like asthma, so it's just not a good environment. But the thing that surprised me a lot was we go to the toilets in a shopping mall, a restaurant, people are smoking in the cubicles, and they'll be in there 10, 15, 20 minutes. Every door will be red. And you'll see ash go on the floor, cigarette butts, and even the disabled toilets are engaged because people are smoking in there. But you go in there, it's like a hot box, you can't breathe. And for me, that is the number one worst thing so far. And that's for me, it's not good at all. And I think because we banned smoking indoors in Europe around 2003, it's been a very long time since we've been sort of exposed in that environment. But it's definitely one of the biggest negatives, and the spitting too. The spitting is not so bad outside, but when people spit indoors, then it's just disgusting. But it's my opinion, right? But yeah, I'm going to make this video again in 40 days from now. I'm going to be traveling to different cities across China, different towns, and I'm going to get a full view of the country. And we're going to remake the video again, maybe with new things, different things. Maybe I change my opinion on the cameras, maybe that's a good thing, or I don't know. We're going to see what happens. But this is my first impression of being in one city in 3 days. You'll be excited to see what it's like in the future. Okay, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another one coming soon. Take care. All right.